Well, here we are, 26th day of January. This morning it was well below zero. Archery season came and gone, and it's time to do some maintenance. And the reason you want to do the maintenance right after the season is because human nature is to procrastinate, and next thing you know, it'll be October 1st before you know it. And what I got to do here is I'll show you these are nice warm clothes, but what's happened is you can see these holes that got put in here. That Molliflower rose, those thorns on it, I rip it, and I've got to get, as you can see right here, those little holes, all they're going to do is get bigger. They're like a cancer, and they just grow. And like I said, you get in those thickets sometimes, and that Molliflower rose is as sharp as a razor blade. But you've got to address that now while you can. And I'm going to take this to the tailor. Like I said, I got them back here. Anywhere that sharp thorn sticks in there, it's just going to get ripped bigger and bigger as time goes on. So now is a prime time to fix that. And another thing, zippers. They became, I don't know, they have no integrity at all. And it's time to address that situation where this zipper is broke. And I was wearing these the other night filming that owl, but I couldn't zip them up. So if you don't address that issue when it's on the front burner, it's not the end of the world, but you better get it addressed, because like I said, before long you will be back out in the woods again, and these are reversible. Your clothes will be in the same disarray they were when you took them off at the end of the season. So like I said, I got some holes in here, and you can see where the seamstress sewed this up some, and now it's time to do the maintenance on them, because they're good clothes, and I like the camouflage pattern. I have several sets of camouflage, and but I like these because they were some of the first white, I can't remember what they called that camel that came out like that. Was it Predator? I don't know what it was. Skyline. And it was pretty neat, because nobody had ever went out in white, and maybe a coyote hunter or something, but most deer hunters always went with a camo of this, but this was called the Skyline. And the white really hides you, especially when you got snow in a tree. And then my vest, the zippers in it are no longer functional. You zip them up and they don't zip up. And so if you put something in the pocket, it's gone. So I got to get new zippers put in it. And I had a new zipper put in here a few years back, and it's really a nice brass heavy duty zipper, and it works great. So I'll take it back to the lady, and she can come up. These are plastic, and she can come up with the real kind. Now a lot of times the guys rip their crotches out on barbed wire by crossing fences, and this is how I come to a solution of that. This is what I use in my tree stand to put my feet on, even though, you know, because it acts as an insulator. But if you throw this over the barbed wire fence where you're going to cross, that'll cover up those barbs and you won't be tearing your crotch out in your, the crotch of your coveralls won't get tore out. And it doesn't weigh nothing, and it serves as two purposes. Like I said, it's cut out like that so I can put it on my tree stand platform, and that piece of carpet will insulate your feet from the cold aluminum or steel, and that goes a long way. So that's just a couple of tips that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you some more here. And I advise you to get on them right now, because what will happen, they'll get put in storage and forgot about, and when you bring them out next year, you'll be haunted with the misery of not getting it done when it was fresh on your mind. So we'll get these up to the seamstress today and have the zippers put in, and we'll have done it when the fire was hot. Yeah, now that we got the repair and the clothing underway, there's just some helpful hints that some of you may not know. Now, these boots are heavily insulated. They really got a nice pack in them. You can see that comes out. You can put these inner soles underneath. Get the right one. And they really keep your feet warm. But when you put your hand down in there and you pull these out, you want to make sure you pull them out because they hold moisture. And no matter how much you try, your feet will never be as warm after you use them. If you use them the next morning or something, that's where this apparatus here really comes in handy. These are boot dryers, and when you put your boot on there, there's no flame or anything, it's just warm air, and they've been out for quite a while. And if you don't have one of them, I would advise, you got time now, and they're still on the market for like ice fishermen and stuff, that will dry the inside of that boot out, and you'll also get these dried out. You can just have them out, and if you have to, place them by the furnace or something to get them dry, because if you don't, the next day you wear these, your feet won't stay warm very long, because that moisture that you sweated in there the day before will still be encapsulated in that, and that's going to be cold. Now, another trick to that is these hand warmers. I buy the 18-hour one. Don't buy anything less than 18 hours. I can get that in that big boot, and I can wrap a piece of tape around it one time or halfway around, and when I put my foot in there with my socks in there, that'll keep that. My feet are warm all day. They never get cold. But make sure that you get these. These are 18-hour ones. Don't get anything less than 18 hours, and buy them they come in a 10-pack, and I suggest that you buy them early because they sell out fast. So you want to buy them as soon as they come on the market, like in October. Buy, I don't know, 10, 15 packages of them, because you're always going to use them and you don't want to run out of them. And you can, another use for these 18-hour hand warmers, for you guys that are always losing your gloves, here's the best way. You wear mittens. Now, you throw one of these 18-hour hand warmers in each mitten, and I guarantee you, your hands will be warm all day long. And the reason why, I don't care what kind of glove you wear, you got the space. This is where cold air can get to each finger. Well, that's, in my words, obsolete in trying to keep your hands warm. Now, you do have more flexibility. You might want to take a pair of gloves with you, but in my way of thinking, when I put this string around my neck, I got my mittens, and I can't lose them, and if I have to take them off, the mitten's still on. Just simple things like that to do during the winter time. You know, from purchasing boot warmers, which will pay for themselves in comfort, and if you have to, get several more boot liners, so you always got a dry pair that goes underneath of there, because if you don't have warm feet, you won't stay on stand very long. They'll run you off. But that's stuff that you can be thinking about buying right now after the season, because you probably already went through the cold feet. And this is a pair of mittens. And you just tie the string on them and drop that heat source in there. You're good to go all day. Another thing that you're going to want to think about in the wintertime is a pad. Now, I know a lot of stands come with their own pad and they flip up and all that, but this is just extra comfort when you can put underneath of it. You don't want to be sitting on a steel or an aluminum stand when it's been below freezing or cold out. You put that under your bottom, that way it saves the heat. Same way with, I talked about this dual purpose. When you cut this, you put this on the stand itself that you stand on. Now you're keeping your boots warmer. You're not in direct contact with the metal, be it steel or aluminum. And that really makes a big difference. But these boot dryers are a must. I mean, because I don't care what kind of boot you got, once that moisture, your feet sweat in there from walking, it don't get out of there. And the next day you put them on, it's like putting on wet boots. And like I said, the glove, it's handy, but I'll take mittens over that any day. Now, another thing you can be doing in the wintertime is maintenance on your bow. You know, if you have to, check the string. You can go buy new bowstrings and have them installed on your bow at this time. Give them time to get on, get stretched, and check your bow over for any maintenance that it may need, so that you've got it done and you're not trying to do everything in a rush. Like I say, from getting your clothes sewed up to getting bowstrings on and whatever. Another time-consuming operation is getting your arrows fletched. And you can buy your new arrows, get you a fletcher. And I know my arrows are obsolete compared to some of yours, but that's what different strokes for different folks. But you buy your fletch, and you got your fletching tool. Now, remember, if you're going to put a right-handed fletch on, you got to have a right-handed fletcher. You can't put a left-handed fletch on with a right-handed fletcher. So make sure you got the proper equipment. And they come, Boeing makes that equipment, and it's been made for years, and it's pretty simple. You put the fletch in there, put the glue on, and like I said, it's so rewarding. The more you put into your hunting, the more you get out of it. To know that you fletched that arrow that took that turkey or that buck, and turkey season is coming up, you know, in a couple months, so that'll be the first thing you'll be hunting with your bow. Now, on that subject, also, in the wintertime, you'll be getting brochures from different outfitters, and it's time to get on board, check out the dates that are available, and the animals that you want to pursue, and see if what they offer is what you can afford or willing to pay out and willing to traverse to. So you want to be getting a hold of your outfitters and getting your out-of-state license online and purchased. So just because it's January, the bow season's not over. You got several things to do, and I'm going to show you some technology that will help keep you warm in the blind or on the stand. Now here's where technology comes in today. This little buddy heater, it's real simple. It's got you can see the flame in there. The heat's clear out. It really warms it up. So it's perfect for a turkey blind, ground blind, or possibly, you know, a tree stand, a box blind up in the tree. And it really works well. And it puts out the heat with this one propane tank, and it breaks down real easy to carry. But I just wanted to show you how red hot that gets, and that'll keep you on stand in the wintertime. But the reason I'm showing you this is now is the time to be thinking about it, because you just finished up, and if you wait, there's too much on the plate to get all served up at one time. That gives you an idea of what you can afford and what you want the most. You know, from fletching your own arrows to keeping yourself warm. This is pretty simple. You just push this button and hold it down, and that's going to go off. But you want to make sure you don't touch the grill, because it's hot. But things like that are what you could be purchasing if you got a birthday coming up, something like that. And it's really going to come in handy next bow season. Now, there's 2 seasons that you can be concerned with. Like this year on the antelope hunt, these little fans like this will really be dynamite. You can cool yourself down, get some air on you. It was 103 degrees out in Casey, Wyoming this year. And then there's this model here that you turn on, and it's got a fan. Plus, you can squirt yourself with some water, and that'll help cool you down too. So technology is coming into play with this apparatus to keep you warm, and these 2 small fans that run on AA batteries, and this one with the water, that'll give you some comfort when you need it in the early season out west. Like if you're on an antelope hunt and sitting in an antelope blind, believe you me, that can be hell on earth. So that comes in real handy. Now, another thing that comes in handy is, and I really appreciate this, this is a heated vest, and it comes with a battery, and you can plug the battery in. It's no big deal. You plug the battery in. It tells you how much percentage. It goes 100%. You go to this little button. You put it back in your pocket naturally. And I've tried this vest, and it worked real well. You put it on. It's real lightweight, and you get it zipped up. I'm just gonna, well, I'll show you. It's not that big a deal. I just got to slow down a little bit. Anyhow, that does take a little bit more. Anyhow, once you get it zipped up, then you push this button right here, hold it down, and it should come on red here in a second. Yeah, there it is. It's red, so and then you can change the temperature on it by pushing it again, and it goes to blue, and then naturally you can turn it off. And that's made by a company called Go Hunt vest or Heated Hunter, and it worked real well. So just something you guys can plan on getting while you got winter to set through. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you how this breaks down just to 2 pieces and your propane can. So it's pretty simple to pack around. But I like how it breaks down, you know. You really has a lot of carrying capacity that you can do without having a whole bunch of bulk with you. So we'll continue on when we get our clothes back. Here we are at Vang's Tailor Shop, getting our hunting clothes stowed up. And if you guys live in Des Moines or in Polk County, that's 5915 Southwest 9th. So let's go in and see what Vang's got done. There's the man. He'll make your clothes new again. He's sewed several zippers in for me on my hunting clothes that they outlasted the original, that's for sure. So he, as you can see, if it can be fixed, this man right here, Vang, can get it fixed.
Yes, and my name is Vang, and I'm Mong. We came from Laos.
Yeah.
My home country, I used to be U.S. Secret Army in Laos.
Yeah.
So we come to United States. Now I just do tailor, and that's what I do for a living. I do all kind of clothes.
Yeah.
And if you have anything, just bring in. I respect all my friends American.
Yeah.
Because all American, they are my best friend. And I hope I see you sometime. Thank you.
Well, Vang, I can tell you one thing. You're what made this country great. Your work integrity.
Yes.
And there are getting to be fewer and fewer of men and women like you that put your heart and soul. God gifted those hands for you,
yes,
and you put them to work. And it's just a pleasure to work, you know, and spend money at your shop, because I know that goes to a worthy family. And it's just wonderful to deal with people like you.
And also I do a short-term mission too. I'm a Christian. I do a short-term mission to Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. So nobody support me.
Yeah.
All I do, everything at my shop, and also I do a farmer too.
Yeah.
I have a 5-acre garden.
Yeah.
I have to work very hard, and for my living, and also for my short-term mission overseas.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are few men like you that still walk upon this earth. And I'm just proud that when I came here and you were still open, it was a blessing, because I've had you fix my clothes before. And I urge any bow hunter, and this was another journey bow hunting took me to, is to meet you and your family and listen to your life story.
Yeah.
Bow and arrow has taken me all across North America, but to bring me through the bow and arrow to your shop is just another blessing. So I really appreciate that. And this, if you need work done, this is the man that he does. Vang came from a society of it doesn't throw away. It was the fix and repair. That's just like I grew up as a kid. My grandma, she couldn't read nor write, but she could fix holes in clothes, you know. And Vang, like I say, he comes from a society that you fixed your stuff, and you just didn't throw it away and go charge something on a credit card. So I'm really the bow and the arrow brought me and this man together. So that's another plus to bow and arrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And good to see you.
Okay. You'll go a long ways in this world to find a man with that kind of integrity. What he's been through, most people would cut and run. It's amazing what the bow and arrow led me to. This man and his family are what America was made of. Hard work and dedication. Doing jobs that others wouldn't take on. Him and his family have been through living hell and found heaven here in America. And my bow and arrow brought me to his doorstep at Bangs Tailor Shop. If it needs fixed, you need to get it fixed, and you need to get it fixed in the winter because he's closed in the summer. So, a big shout out goes to Bangs Tailor Shop. Thank you very much, sir, for your professionalism. And like I said, it was about a 10-day turnaround, but there's 2 weekends or in there, so he gets right after it, and the work is highly professional. Yes. Bang. Tailor Shop took those junk plastic zippers out, put new zippers in. Now my vest is, I can put stuff in these pockets again and use them. Whereas he also, a few years back, put this nice brass zipper in there where it was a plastic one, which made the vest useless really. And these might be a plastic type, but they work, and he got them working, and that's what matters. And this outfit would be 30 years old this year. I bought this Skyline Camel in 1992, and that zipper that they had in there, it wouldn't work. Now I got the zipper that works from the inside, or it works from the outside, and I got my Snow Camel, which works excellent, and then I got just my tree bark type camel. And coverall's all fixed, the holes are all sewed up, but they're as good as new, and it costs far less for the zippers in there. And then these were expensive. These are highly warm for the late winter, and these were well over $300. And it's got all the holes sewed up in them, and the holes that were put in this was put in by brush and Molliflower rose that clung to that and ripped it. And here in Iowa we have quite a bit of that Molliflower rose, so but at least you know the time of year to get that done when it's hot on your mind and cold outside. Because if you're just sitting around wasting time and not getting something done for your next upcoming season, well, the season will be here and you'll still have those same holes in the clothes. So thanks to Bangs Tailor Shop, and if you need to know, I showed you the address and stuff. If contact me and I can get you, a hold of him. But he's a very, very generous man, and I tell you, he did all this work for under $100, and that's amazing because most people would just keep doing it until it turned to rags. Now on to our next subject, which is really important and you should be doing right now, and is getting your springtime annuals purchased and getting them online. And now is the time Whitetail Institute is my go-to supplier. And the nice thing about it is they run specials on this stuff because it's their slow time of season. So it's beneficiary to you to get this stuff bought. And the most priceless thing that you can buy at this time of year, and you can still do this even if it's got snow on the ground and frost in the ground. It's going to take a little work, but it's worth it. If you have to take a shovel out, shovel some snow off your field where you're going to plant, and then maybe take a pickaxe and pick down through the frost. And if you get down 6 to 8 inches deep with little debris in it, you can let that thaw out and get this laboratory soil test taken and get it sent in to Whitetail Institute, so you have a plan on how much amendments you need per acre for the seed that you're going to plant. And now's the time to do that. That way they get it back pretty fast anyway, but it gives you time to get your chemical, your fertilizer, and all that stuff bought in advance. Like the co-op, when I go to the co-op, you are recommended to be ordering your corn or soybeans now, so they got them on hand. If the way this supply market is today, if you wait too long, like last year, you could find that you didn't have the 4600, the nitrogen, because they just didn't have it. So now is the time to get that stuff ordered and paid for and get it out of the way, and measure up your land, what you're going to plant, and most of all, get that soil test in the Whitetail Institute's hands. I used to go to the ag department here in Iowa at my co-op, but boy, they cost a lot of money, and a lot more money than what Whitetail Institute tells you. And this is vital, of the first step, vital to a successful food plot. Because just because that dirt's black and just because it's in Iowa doesn't mean that it's acidic, not acidic. And so it's the time to get that done. So, like I say, I want to thank Bangs again for his professionalism and getting those clothes sewed up. And do that now while it's hot on your mind, because if you let it go, it don't take long, and you start fishing, turkey hunting and stuff like that, and your wintertime hunting clothes, they go on the shelf in the box, and then you bring them out next year and they're the same way you put them in. So don't procrastinate. Get your clothes dressed and get your spring product for your food plots. You don't have to grow food plots, but there's another thing that you can be doing right now, and I'll show you. And this will put a wrap on it. This is the time of year that you can start using your chainsaw. This saw doesn't have the saw blade on it, but it's the time that you can cut some undesirable trees down. They're blooming, they're starting to put buds on them, they're new growth, and this will provide tons and tons of natural deer forage to get the deer through the winter. If it's something you can do on a cold day, a warm day, but now is the time to get your motor run and head out into timber and make some food for the deer, because they'll eat everything that's smaller than your finger, and it's amazing how they find that and attack it. So that's just some of the things that you can do. There's probably some more things, but I'm running out of time. And but your clothes, your food plot material, everything that I mentioned above is needed to be addressed. Your arrows being fletched, fletching them in yourself. You got all the time in the world to get arrows fletched for turkey season or next deer season, and you don't have to rush the glue to dry, and you just numerous things to be doing. So get after it, and best of luck. And like I say, turkey season is not too far around the corner, so you want to get that stuff started too. So that's it from the Non-Typical, and best of luck to you in 2023.